Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're unpacking an absolutely massive shift in how we actually build autonomous AI. Look, if you're a developer or an operator working with LLMs right now, you already know the pain of managing agent memory, right? It's arguably the biggest bottleneck in production today. But Anthropic just dropped this highly anticipated update for their managed agents, and it literally rewrites the rules on how we handle context. We're going to do a deep dive into this brand new feature because it is absolutely shaking up the entire developer ecosystem.
To really appreciate what just launched, we kind of have to start with that universally shared developer pain point. You know the one. For 2 years now, AI agents literally forgot you between sessions. I mean, think about it. You spin up an agent, it does some really great work, but the exact minute that session ends, boom, memory wiped entirely clean. It's that persistent agent amnesia problem. We've all been there, right? Duct taping context windows together, writing all this crazy, complex routing logic, constantly re-injecting prompts, only to just sit there and watch our agents functionally get dumber, or at least way more constrained over time as our tasks actually start to scale.
Okay, let's dive into this because Anthropic actually just shipped the solution at their Code with Claude conference, and honestly, the solution is brilliantly simple in concept, even if the underlying engineering is, incredibly complex. Here it is. Claude just learned how to dream. Yeah, no way, right? They've essentially built a sleep cycle for AI agents. So instead of running hot 100% of the time, they now have this designated downtime to passively process everything they've learned.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the agent amnesia problem, then we'll get into how Claude learned to dream, check out the mechanics of background consolidation, look at the Harvey benchmark proof, and finally wrap up with this whole new infrastructure paradigm. All right, let's jump right in. First up, the agent amnesia problem. That whole frustrating reality of agents just getting dumber over time.
Which brings us to the big announcement, Claude actually learning to dream. So how does this actually work? Let's take a look at the mechanics of background consolidation.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the mechanical sequence of this background operation. It's actually fascinating. So first, the process reviews past sessions. It literally looks back at the actual transcripts of what just happened. Second, it identifies and extracts these recurring patterns that, the agent might have just completely missed in the heat of the moment. Third, and guys, this is absolutely crucial for efficiency, it prunes stale notes. It just throws away the junk data. And finally, it carefully curates these refined insights right into long-term memory stores. So if we strip away that whole biological metaphor of dreaming for a second, what we're really looking at here is just a specialized scheduled background cron job, one that's dedicated exclusively to memory consolidation. It's basically an automated pipeline running asynchronously between your active agent sessions.
So, the crucial point is this. Original session data stays completely untouched. For developers, this is the magic bullet for data integrity, right? The dreaming process creates this highly refined memory layer, but it doesn't destructively overwrite your actual operational logs. It's a strictly additive optimization. You get all the benefits of long-term learning, but you don't compromise your audit trails at all. Though, keep in mind this feature is currently in research preview, so you are going to need developer access to start actually building with it.
Okay, let's move on to the Harvey benchmark. Because look, theory is great and all, but we're developers. We need the hard receipts. Let's look at the actual proof.
And this brilliantly illustrates the impact. 6 times, the legal AI platform Harvey actually ran these new managed agents on some super complex, long-form drafting tasks. And after simply turning the dreaming feature on, just flipping the switch, they reported a 6x improvement in task completion rates. A 6x jump is just a massive leap in reliability for autonomous workflows. That is definitely not an incremental bump. That's a complete phase shift.
And get this, that 6x improvement did not come from a model swap. They didn't just plug in some vastly larger, way more expensive foundational model. Instead, that massive gain came purely from the agents carrying institutional knowledge across sessions. It's literally the difference between hiring a brand new temp worker every single day versus having an employee who learns your business better and better with every single shift. This persistent, evolving agent memory is the new reality now, and it fundamentally changes the whole ROI for deploying these models.
Now, dreaming wasn't the only thing that shipped. Let's rapidly run through a few of the parallel features announced alongside it. First up, Outcomes is now in public beta. This basically lets a grader, Claude, evaluate your outputs against a rubric, and it's yielding a 10-point bump in task success versus standard prompting. Second, Orchestration is also in public beta. This one allows you to run up to 20 parallel specialist agents all reporting to one lead agent. Pretty cool. And finally, for Pro and Max users, they just doubled your 5-hour account limits. Just to give you the runway to actually test all this stuff out at scale. Let's move to our final point and see how this builds into a new infrastructure paradigm: AI as a substrate.
So that old complaint that AI gets dumber the longer you use it? Yeah, that's basically structurally over now. By actually embedding memory consolidation directly into the managed environment, Anthropic has functionally ended that long-standing developer headache of stateless agent degradation. It's no longer this messy thing you have to just hack together yourself with external vector databases and these super complex retrieval loops. Now, it just works natively.
And this whole paradigm shift can be summarized perfectly. AI used to be a feature you added, then a product you bought. Now it is becoming the substrate underneath. We're literally watching AI move from being just a simple, static API call you make into a true infrastructural layer. It's becoming the very plumbing of our applications. Plumbing that passively and continuously optimizes itself overnight through these sleep cycles.
So I really want to leave you with this thought. Look at your own stack right now. If agents now passively self-optimize overnight, what does that actually mean for your current app architecture? Are you still building for a world where AI just forgets everything? Or are you ready to build on a substrate that literally learns while you sleep? Thanks for joining this explainer, guys. I highly encourage you to take a hard look at your own agent workflows and definitely start testing these new memory paradigms today. Catch you next time.